Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. James Spilling here once again for those that love sound, music, and stuff like that. One track, one library today, and it's a special one track, one library today, for it is the turn of Elysion 2, or Elysion 2, or Elysion 2. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. I think it's Elysion. This is from Sonuscore and Best Service. So this is a Kontakt synth, and it's, in their words, it bridges the gap between the orchestra and the synth. So it's sort of hybrid-y, using instruments, synths, ambience, effects, and all combining to create fab underscore and fab textures and really, really cool sounds. So I'll say it now. Of course, I love it. So if you liked Elysion 1, you're going to love this. It's got more. It's got more of the same and dirtier and grittier, and the engine's cool and all of that. So having played with it for a little bit, it was very clear to see that if time was of the essence and you needed a very quick cue rattled off, or 2 to 5 minute whatever, of underscore or something interesting, this would be one of the babies that you would look at, in my humble opinion. It is incredibly quick to get fantastic, interesting results. But I'll show you all that later. Anyway, me being me, I've written this track, and I thought, what sort of track to write? So instead of writing an underscore thing, I wanted to try and create a sort of a theme tune for a TV series, an imaginary TV series. And I used this picture as my inspiration. It's an eye. It's an eye with numbers and letters and equations, and it's a mystery eye. So it's a sort of a, is it CSI? I don't know. Is it CSI? Sorry. So yeah, it's sort of an excitement. This show's going to be good and interesting theme tune. Anyway, so for those that want to listen to the full track straight away, just go to the minutes and seconds down below, press full track. But what I will do in order is walk you through this fab instrument and engine and show you how much fun it can be. I will then play the full track in full with the picture. And then, if you're still interested, I will show you the instruments used and what I've done to those instruments to create the track. Anyway, without further nonsensing, let me show you Elysion 2. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Elysion 2. What you get for the Kontakt player is you get the single NKI with the engine, but you also get the opportunity to have just the single instrument NKIs. So the ambience, the hits and sustains. Saves a bit of CPU as well. But what you won't have, and you'll see later, is you don't get the step sequences for those. So, without further ado, let's show you the engine. So this is what it looks like. And what I like to do is I do like to save my initial instrument as an empty thing so I can make my own. But let me take you through what you've got. So you've got 5 layers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All got solo and mute there. Let's take this off. You've got, you can put octaves, you can go 4 octaves higher or 4 octaves lower. Control click resets it. So, and here's your instrument chooser. You've got sustains, hits and ambience FX, exactly the same as these single instruments up here. And you've got soft and hard choices of both, as with life, clearly. And then down here, you've got the choice of whether you ARP it or envelope it. But I will show you. Shall I show you? No, I'm not. I'm going to show you a single preset first. And then so you can see what it does. This is what you get. And if you press a button, it highlights it. Now, me being me, I'm slightly colorblind, and I can't really see a lot of difference between when it's highlighted and not. Do you see what I mean? Apart from it saying clear. So I've cleared my tag selection. If I go, I just want the Elysion 2 choices, I can't really tell that that's highlighted. Anyway, that's me just being me. So, categories, spheres, pulses, and animators. Spheres sort of sustains and hits, mainly sustains. Pulses, lots of hits, arps and gated and all of that. Animated, basically the full arrangements, if you like, of lots of 5-part instruments. So let's just go animated. You get choice of meter, you get feel, 8th, 16th triplet, character, haha. So, and then you can favorite them here, which I have. So let's go. Antares submerged underwater. Now, if you just look before I play it. Antares, Orion, Sirius, Sagittarius, Terra, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Neptune. It's planetary. And it's planetary to explain different characters. So I've just loaded up the manual. And if you look, it says Mercury, animated, lively, diverse, Venus, inspired, tranquil, emotional, Terra, blah, blah. Jupiter, contentful, pleasant, and funny. It's an illusionary giant. I thought Jupiter would just be huge, but no, it's contentful anyway. So that basically will show you a little guidance. But you'll get the feel of it anyway. So we've chosen Antares submerged underwater. I'm going to play a C major triad. Here we go. Quite cheesy. Let's go Orion Blazing Sky. Yeah, so look, you can see 5 choices of instruments, all doing their things. Some are doing arps, and this one's doing an envelope. So let me just take you through the instrument. So this is very much motion and mod wheel based. So I've set up my MIDI controller to tractor controller, but it's got everything I need. It's got sliders, it's got knobs, and it's got buttons. So I've set up my mod wheel, because my mod wheel on my keyboard, which is over there, is too far away. So here we go. That's my mod wheel. And look at it. Look at the graphics. It does fab things. Basically makes it more or less. Here we go. This is less. Yeah. You get the thing. So you can change your instruments here. Now, let me just show you very quickly on the settings page. Highlight new instruments. I sort of highlighted that simply so that I can see what's new in Elysion 2. And you'll see. Look! Tells you what's new. It's actually changed the colour, which I wanted to do for the previous page anyway. Never mind. I'm being picky. So I'm going to go Terrestrial Storm. Well, it's slightly different, isn't it? So according to them, when it's green underneath here on the keyboard, it's at its fullest. If you go the full range, it's basically playing the instruments that do stretch there, but not all of it. But if you want all of it, all of the instruments within their range is green. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. So, as you can probably tell, it's not the morning. Curtains are shut. Darkness has fallen, and the kids are asleep. So, I did a big video this morning, and half of it was unusable. Technical issues. Anyway, the second half is fine. So, you'll see me in the morning again, as it were, for the track and the track walkthrough. But in the meantime, I need to explain to you the GUI in all its glory in the evening or at night. Anyway, so what I'll do is I'll explain to you the arps and envelopes and motion and all of that. So let's pick an instrument. Let's pick... what should we pick? Oh, felt piano. That's quite nice. Sounds like there's an FX on there. Is there an FX on there? That's, yeah, the attack was up. That's better. Okay. So, by the way, while we're here, this is like a global thing for the instrument. It's a low cut. I think it's an 80 hertz cut, and there's an attack and a decay. So if it's not quite cutting through, just turn the attack down, or up, as it were. Done. Close that down. Right, this is your felt piano. So let's give it an arp. As it's a hit, you can only have an arp, or none. here is an up. Now, it may look slightly complicated, but I assure you it isn't. This is volume based. I'm now playing C, F, and A. So if we do that, C, and you can have all sorts of fun. Turn that volume. So, what these keys are pressed, I will tell you what everything does. So, 4/4 time signatures. This is whether you do 16th notes, 8th notes, quarter notes. Let's stick to 16ths for this demonstration. Now, this is whether this goes up, down, down and up, zigzag, up and down, right, blah, blah, blah. So, this is purely up. This is down. This is up and down. Zigzaggy up and down. Yeah. Moving in and out. So, world's your oyster. Did I mention one little thing that I probably would fancy is a little randomize button? Have I mentioned that yet? Anyway, that's probably for another time. Reset. This generally just means that if you're changing chord mid sequence, it's not going to suddenly jar. It's literally going to change after 1 bar or 2 bars, so it's going to be slightly cleaner. This is how much of the arp is played. So this is off at the minute. This is the lowest, just the lowest note. I'm still playing those 3 notes. Lowest 2, top 3. Top. So this is useful if you've got more than one arp amongst your instruments. So you could, for example, have one piano doing just the bottom 2 if you're playing it all at once, and then some other arp just playing the top 3 if you've got 5. So it makes it all much more usable and arrangeable. To turn it off. So this is purely repeating notes. Let's just turn this to 1/8 to make it more noticeable. This basically repeats. So this is off. I'm going to repeat the first note 4 times and then the second note. See? I'll repeat twice. Once. None. Very useful. Step 32. Skip means that basically it skips these. If you mute these, it skips on to the next one. Transposing. You can transpose. Let's go back to 16ths. And look, you can learn this. So I want to learn this. So if I press this and turn my little rotary dial. Well, that's fun. That's very cool. So octaves, how many octaves higher or lower it's going to incorporate within the arp. 2. Too low. Yeah, copy and paste simply is basically, if you like this pattern, you copy it onto another instrument. Swing, do. Normal, half time, 2 time, double time. Humanize means it's not going to be quite as good. Not quite there, is it? I mean, it just makes it more human. I don't mind the non-human within my synths. Anyway, now here comes the fun part. So let me explain to you A and B. So B is purely the highest setting of the mod wheel. So for example, if we just go all the way up to here, I'll do that again. There we go. That is B. I've set the height of the mod wheel. Now if I go to A, I can set the bottom of the mod wheel. So let's set it here, let's say. And therefore that becomes your playground in terms of volume. Yeah. Now, you can have fun with this. So, for example, with my lowest setting, I want to have it here. Why not have it here? And then for B, why not have it here? So it's going to be slightly, oh look at that, it's going ziggy zaggy. Now I'm going to do the same thing here. And then A, up that. So look, it's going, again I'll play it. Let's get it really quick so you can really hear it. So that's middle. Other way. Yeah, I mean, I really like that. I mean, and that's hilarious. So that's your ARP. So let's do another one. Let's mute you. Let's put a sustain on, shall we? Soft. Brilliant European. That's quite nice. So this is going to be an envelope. So this is purely about waves. And if you look at the mod wheel, yeah, you can. So that's the height. Let's go for low. Let's go opposite. Weirdness. It's sort of weird. Anyway, again, time signature, how long it's 3 bars, 1 bar, half bar. This is, again, let's have the lowest. Yeah. In fact, I don't like this at all. I'm going to make it really weird. That'll do. Very weird, isn't it? Now, not only do you have an envelope, you have what's called stutter. Let's go 8 steps. This is literally just a gate, almost. Let's mute them like that. See? So it's just stuttering. 16th. Yeah. So that's quite fun. If you had 32 steps, let's make it 32s. Yeah. Copy and paste, blah, 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 blah. Everything else is the same. You can, of course, save these things. Choose a selection of tags that apply to your preset and all of that. I don't want to do that just yet. Let's turn this back on. So we've got that in a minute. Yeah. Now, let me talk to you about the FXs. So you have an EQ, you have modulation, saturation, and filter. Now, anything with this fun little thing, motion underneath, basically applies to, well, your mod wheel. So down here, CC1 being the mod wheel that I've set up. Where are we? FX. So if you have to press it to activate it. See, it's going with the mod wheel. However, and I was going, oh, I wish I could have a different assignable learn MIDI CC, and you can. So actually what you can do is set it up here anyway. So I'm going to say CC11 expression. Is that expression? Can't remember. But here we go. There we go. Totally independent from my mod wheel. And there's my mod wheel. So let's do a filter on it. In fact, let's solo it. So that's my filter. You can have a lot of fun with that. Modulation. Let's have a chorus, shall we? Should we turn it on? And I'm going to set the motion onto this. Let's have it loud. Speed, phase, yeah. So, because my filter is all the way up, I can't hear it. So what I want to do is I want to set my lowest point, which is this, a bit higher, and my highest point a bit lower. So actually, if I were to modulate, I can still hear it. See? Oh, and you've got some cool modulation happening now. Now, just supposing I want to go the other way while my filter goes up, I want to go down on this. You can press this little invert button and it goes the other way. Isn't that cool? You have saturation again, EQ. So hours of fun, and that's just 2 instruments. Yeah. So let me just show you on the mix page that actually, so you have your levels, you have your reverbs, which is set to here. You also have your delay mixes, which are motion enabled. If this was on, that is. Let's turn those on. Let's have this one inverted. Well, that's just weird, isn't it? You can pan them. Yeah. And you can also assign them to different stereo outs. So I'm going to, because I'm in Pro Tools, I'm going to go stereo 2, stereo 3. I'm going to create 2 stereo audio tracks. I'm going to get them from 2 and 3. Oh no, that one needs to be 3. Sorry. Record those. Ready to record. There we go. And I think let's move the mod. All very cool. And then you have them here. Look. So this one would be my felt piano. Going cool. And this would be my brilliant European. And you can do what you like with those. So that's all very cool. Let me go back to the pan. So there's 2 pan engines. And again, you can step loads. You can step hardly any. So that would be right on the top, I presume, and left on the bottom. Oh no, so these are the instruments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 would be my felt piano, 2 would be my sustained. Sorry, I need to turn this off. I'm so sorry. But I don't want you at the minute. Yeah. So right on the top, left on the bottom. And you can assign let's go 60. Yeah, and I'm going to assign both of them. I'm going to assign both of them to that one. Unmute you to pan. Now, if I want my euphonium to do something completely different, I'm going to steps. Let's go lots. So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to mirror it. Why not? Why not? But let's go slightly more extreme. And let's go 16. Let's go 32s. Well, that makes me feel a bit sick. Let's modulate. Cool. Oh, look, you can also export MIDI. Drag and drop onto thingy. There's your ARP. Isn't that cool? For any other instrument to play it as well, from any other library. So that's your pan engine. What's not to love? By the way, you've also got a compressor here. On your delay, you've got all of these things. Let's go modern sci-fi. Why not? Turn the feedback up. If this one's going up in motion. Oh, it's getting very cool. And then I want to assign another one to my reverb. That one. Same. So the same one is going to do my reverb. Let's turn you into a large. Yeah, large hall. Ready? So at the minute I've got 3 faders. So look, I've got 3 faders occupying an awful lot. Look at that. Let's play it. Ready, here we go. Let's have fun with 3 faders. Shush. So there was a moment when in one of the track I wanted a part of the track to suddenly lose an instrument just for a moment, and you can learn MIDI CC anything, and I wanted, let's say I want to get rid of the sustain, so right click on the mute button, learn MIDI CC, and I pressed a button. So if I press the button it mutes. So let's do that. Unmute. How cool is that? Anyway, I'm a big fan of this instrument. I would have loved to press the O, let's say, or the 2 and get random everything, but I don't know. Oh, and also you can look at, if you don't like the new Elysion 2 setup, you just look at Elysion 1, and you get a sort of a watery Earth as opposed to a fiery Venus. I don't know. I think I've showed you pretty much everything. Let me just show you a couple of Uranus hidden megacity. Do you know what that's Final Fantasy? Instant queue for entering the megacity. I mean, you know, I talked about queues that would not take you long. Done. Final Fantasy, there you go. What else? Uranus, leaving all sorrows behind. That's lovely, isn't it? Uranus is all rather lovely and soft. So just go back to the description of each of those. I've forgotten. One last one. Pulses. If you want angry. There you go. Anyway, I could be here all day playing with this thing. In fact, sorry, that's just whetted my appetite. Orion pulses. Ooh. I like that a lot. Favorite that. And what was the Sagittarius one? Pulses. Was it this one? Oh, I like that as well. Anyway. favourite that. Look, I could be here all day playing with this. So I'm going to leave you in the capable hands of me from this morning. So goodbye from me this evening, and hello to me from this morning for the full track. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the full track. This is the picture of the eye, and this is the theme tune for this eye, the new and exciting TV show that's never going to happen. Anyway, here it is. So there we have it, folks. That was all made with Elysion 2, the Encounter. I think that's what they called it. So I think now let's show you what I did and what I did with these instruments. So these were all my MIDI tracks. As with the bounce downs, I color code everything just to keep my life slightly easier. So my sort of main tune thematic materials in blue. Here we go. I have sort of pulses and sequences in pink and purple. My hits usually in orange. Bass material red. Pads lovely little blue. A sort of a percussion ticking black, and any effects in yellow. Sort of seems to help my mind. Anyway, how did I start the track? Well, I started literally at the top with this first instrument. Which was my Antares hit Distant Curiosity. And that was it. And then I created the theme. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, with all of these, as you can probably tell, I did purge them to make sure that I wasn't using all the samples, because otherwise my computer would really struggle. So that was my theme. And with the other Kontakt instrument, because I tend to only put 16 instances of anything on one Kontakt. I don't know why 16, I just made it 16. So on my second one, I had this amplified matter hits. Sort of sounded slightly exotic, and that's pretty much it, really. And then further down the line, I added in this midsection and at the end, this felt piano. Here. By the way, these are all separate instances of the instruments. Some of them are the full Elysion 2 NKIs, but these ones, so useful to have those instruments. Again, you just go down to here and you get the choice of soft and hard, and you decide which instrument you want. The only thing you don't have, as I think I've said, is any ability to put them through a sequence, through the Arps or an envelope. But, you know, if that's what you want, that's what you want. So, pretty cool, hey? And then I introduced this felt piano right at the back at the end. I just liked it. Now, the other main one for me was this Sirius Planet Explorer. Now, I've sort of created this sort of polyrhythm. So this was for sort of a 4/4 and everything else was written in 6/8. But I sort of quite like the polyrhythm thing. Yeah, it just gave it that sort of something. As I said, all of these are my sequences. And I jollied it up with some of these. These two down here, I introduced right at the top, if you remember. So I had a sort of a pulse and then a gated thing answering it. Just to make life a bit more interesting. And then I obviously had them at the recap with all the other sequences, and these are those 5 together. Yeah, so lots of sequences and lots of fun things. I know I'm going through it quite quickly, but hey. I then had these I then had these hits, a separate instrument of the hits, and a bismuth hit that I put through a mod delay. Without the delay. So this is without the delay. With the delay. Just added something, and then I had a final boom at the end, which was an energetic pipe. Sort of boom. Subtle, but hey. Now my bass material. This, I wouldn't call this bass, but certainly something. It was just a hang drum. It's just something. Yeah? Which I really quite liked. And then proper bass stuff was actually a pad. And it was this Antares pad. Just provided a bit of bass stuff. So with that lovely sequence and the bass and the tune, I liked it. And then you had lots and lots of pads. So these first two were really just separate sustains without anything going on. Oh no, not the hits. Here we go. A dying sun, and a gloomy voice. Yeah. And then this third one, around here, was from my first Kontakt instrument. And this was Lone Satellite. Not really doing anything. Oh, sorry. The Lone Satellite without that would be this. Just a normal sustain instrument without anything else. Then I had my Sirius pad. My Sirius pad. So So these two, here and here. So one was my Serious Pad Emerging Starlight. This is it. I think I turned off some instruments on the actual preset. And then this one is an Orion, or is it? Orion Pad Frozen Wind, which I used the mod wheel for. Just to have that sort of a feeling of, I don't know, interest. It's to make it interesting for me. And then finally, I had to have a tick. Of course I had to have a tick. What's any sort of cue without a tick? And that was simply... I created a tick. A JS ticking, I called it under my user. So I started from Sagittarius Moon Surface, turned some things off, filtered some things, I think, and then saved it as a user preset. With that, what I needed, really, apart from this, some radium hits. It was just a sort of an answering call to what was going on in the midsection. I needed, what I really wanted was some risers to transition into the next sections. So this was my first one. Serious Pad Emerging Starlight with my mod wheel. So that's a sort of a nice little riser, and then I had another one here. Again, it was a Serious Pad Celestial Menace. I mean, isn't that cool? What's not to love about that? Anyway, so that was that really. And then obviously I bounced it down and mixed it, and it became the eye. So Elysion 2, Elysion 2. Really, what is not to love? I think it's an absolutely fantastic instrument that you can do a hell of a lot with and go crazy on it. I've actually been fairly conservative with it and just created as something that was musically pleasant. I could go musically unpleasant, but that might be for another video. Anyway, so best service, Sonuscore. I salute you. Double salute. I think it's fantastic. So guys, if you like this track, give it a like. If you like what I do, please subscribe, and you'll be notified of anything else I do in the future. As I have done with previous videos, I will put a link down below when the track is published to where you can get this track and its stems, should you so desire. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Take care, stay well, stay safe, and I will see you very, very soon for another one. Take care, bye.